Absolute belter view, that. I know it's the whittle, but look at it. Look at it. Hello, welcome back to another video. Right, so here's the story in short. In 1976, a group of drunken students stole an original Penny Lane sign from where it was situated on Penny Lane, years after the street was made famous by the Beatles. However, 47 years later, an unnamed person has emailed the Liverpool Museum and said, listen, the sign belongs back in Liverpool. I'm willing to give it back. Now, there was no sort of identification on the fella or who he was. He just emailed the museum, and the museum read the email and thought it was a prank, but lo and behold, it wasn't. And now the original Penny Lane sign is sat in a museum just behind me there in the Albert Dock. So I'm just going to take a little look around the workings here, and then we're going to pop inside and we're going to see if we can film it and show you what it's like. So just before I do that, I have come to a nice little spot in the Albert Dock which has got loads of old machinery and workings from back in the day. Now what I'll do before we pop inside is I'll just read you a little bit from a news article. So Penny Lane sign returned 47 years after it was stolen by young drunk Beatles fans. And he said, because I'm getting a bit on a bit now, I want to return it to the pool, wrote the unnamed thief. The Penny Lane street sign is back in Liverpool, England, nearly 5 decades after a group of tipsy university students wrestled it from its home beneath the city's clear suburban skies. The Beatles Story Museum in Liverpool says a man emailed them out of the blue in March to confess that him and his friends nabbed the sign in 1976 while they were feeling worse for wear after a night of boozing. And he says, because I'm getting on a bit now, I want to return it to the pool where I spent 6 very happy years as a student, undergrad and postgrad, including meeting my wife for 44 years, wrote the thief, who the museum has agreed not to name. Obviously, Liverpool is where the sign should now be, and to spend the rest of its days. So it just goes on to say, soccer victory inspired signs return. When Mary Chadwick, the museum's manager, first read the email, she figured it was a prank. Nevertheless, she arranged to have the man mail them the sign. We thought we'd get something through the post that replicated street sign, Chadwick told A. But Liverpool City Council confirmed that this is indeed the sign that went missing from Penny Lane in 1976, 9 years after the picturesque street was made famous in a Beatles song of the same name. It was just crazy, Chadwick said. It's all thanks to a victory early this year by Liverpool Football Club against its rival Manchester United. The win apparently filled the sign's keeper with so much pride and nostalgia for his old stomping grounds that he basically made him come forward and give the sign back. So basically that's all you need to know. There's a bit more spiel there, but it just goes on a little bit. So we're going to drop inside now and we're going to have a look at this sign.
A Penny Lane street sign stolen by drunk students has been returned to Liverpool 47 years after the theft. The sign was taken in 1976, 9 years after the Beatles single immortalised the road. Earlier this year, the Beatles Story Museum was contacted by an anonymous ex-student who said he wanted to return the totally pristine sign. The man admitted the petty thieves were worse for wear when they stole the sign. He said, because I am getting on a bit now, I want to return it to the pool, where I spent 6 very happy years as a student, undergrad then postgrad, including meeting my wife of 44 years. Obviously, Liverpool is where the sign should now spend the rest of its days. The sign is not the only one to have been stolen from the road in the Mossley Hill area of the city. But museum bosses say it is the oldest one to be returned. Councillor Dan Barrington, Liverpool City Council's cabinet member for transport, said, the removal of street signs is a criminal offence which can lead to a prison sentence. However, given the history of this case and the fact this Penny Lane has got back to where it belongs after what looks like a long and winding journey, then I think we can all agree to just let it be. The sign is on display in the museum on Liverpool's Albert Dock. Mayor of the Liverpool City region Steve Rotherham said, Penny Lane is so much more than a simple street that inspired a song all those years ago. It's a music time capsule immortalised by those 4 boys who shook the world. But the true meaning of the song isn't in the street name or sign. It's the sights and characters that Paul McCartney recalled from his time growing up here. Penny Lane is in our ears and in our eyes, and this time it's for keeps.
Sorry?
Museum before?
I've been once years ago, but I'm looking for the Penny Lane sign has been returned here, hasn't it? Stolen 47 years ago. Yeah, by some drunken students. Yeah, honestly. I seen it in the news today.
Yeah.
47 years ago, some students robbed the original sign, and now someone has come forward and said, listen, I need to give it back to Liverpool. So it's here, apparently. So that's what I've come in search for today. Yeah, if I find it, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure you can film in here, but we'll give it a go till we get stopped, eh? Just seen the original Santa Claus from Blacklers. See if I get a picture of it up here. While we're here, there's one of the restored carriages of the old Liverpool overhead railway. Oh, we can't even get into it now. Let's go out the other side. So I do believe that was one of the original carriages restored. It says there, driver, and then you've got your passengers. So if anyone is familiar with Blacklers in Liverpool, this fella here is the original Santa Claus from that department store. Right, here we go. Blacklers department store, Father Christmas. Right, so after a few minutes of trying to find it, I couldn't find it. And I asked some fella who works in the museum, and he said, I don't know what you're talking about, mate. It turns out I'm actually in the wrong museum. I need to go to the Beatles Museum, which is in the Albert Dock, which apparently I've just asked a lady. She said it's £19. So I'm just weighing up, is it worth £19 to go into the museum just to have a look at a sign and complete this video? Who knows? Oh, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. But then again, I don't go to museums, so I couldn't really, I don't know what I'm on about. So what you've just seen there as well is the original Santa Claus from Blacklers. Blacklers department store, was it called? Or just Blacklers, whatever. That was cool to see. So now I'm opposite the Albert Dock, and I'm going to take a slow walk over and decide whether I'm going to pay the £19 to get inside and see this sign. Do you know what? I've had a good walk around, and I've come to the decision. I've had a good month on YouTube, so I'm going to pay the £19, only providing I can actually film in there as well. So I'm just outside now, and I've just come to take one more walk over out the way just to see if I do really want to go in. But yeah, do you know what? Soddy, let's pay the £19 and go in. Right, what's that? I think everyone's got headsets on, and I'm the only one else with headsets on. Where's this sign? Shorty beam in operation. Let's get me £19 worth. Oh, look at this. That's nice. The cabin. Oh, someone else vlogging here. Oh. Thought I'd replicate myself there.
The cabin used to hold both lunchtime and evening sessions, when it would cost a shilling to see bands such as the Beatles, Jerry and the Pacemakers, and many others who were later to become household names. The cabin was so popular with teenagers in the city that hundreds were...
This is a timed experience, as in 3 minutes long as well.
Because of poor ventilation and overcrowding, the club was unbearably hot, and often condensation would run down the walls.
Ow!
For audience and performers alike. The Beatles already had quite a large following within the city, which increased their regular performances.
Like I say, I'm going to get me £19 worth.
And then I had no bother again.
Ow.
Om du köper då. It's cool. So I've never seen a museum so quiet. Inside the yellow submarine. Where is this dawn sign? That's original toys there. Copyrights galore on this video, I think. Copyrights galore. Yeah, another copyright. I do apologise, this camera is a bit scatty and low light, so I'll try my best to get some decent shots. Ringo sneakers. where's this bloody sign? I think this is the point where I should keep on talking, just to rule out any copyright claims. Yeah. Nice. Right, where are we going here now? What's that way? There's Yoko. This area is alarmed. Beatles in India. Just a friggin' sign. John Lennon jacket. Look at this before we go. Right, so I've just been informed that this sign is the sign that was returned after 47 years. This one right here. See the same scuff marks which appeared in the news article. So after 47 years, I thought it was cast iron. The guy I just spoke to said they've got a thing for it, display thing for it, so it will eventually go there, but it seems a bit weird. After 47 years and you rivet it to a wall. Oh well. It's weird, everyone's got headphones on and I don't think they can hear me. So I'm just walking around. Oh look, there's McCartney. Yeah, so that was the sign apparently, so yeah. Right, so as the sun is setting on this very cold winter's evening, the 1st of December 2023, I'm just off to get something to eat now before I go back to the coat truck and film it with all its lights on in the dark. So I'm just going to get a bite to eat somewhere. The sign was a little bit disappointing. I was expecting to see it in a case, and I did ask the guy and he said we have got a case for it somewhere, and they don't know when it's going to go in it, but just nailed to a wall like that with no sort of information on it. Would be nice to have some information on, you know, it's where it's been for the last 47 years, got stolen, returned. That would be nice. Anyway, just before I go, I'd like to thank Tom Morgan and Steve Madden for their coffee donations last month. Very much appreciated, guys. All money does go back to the channel. And so yeah, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to whip on over to the coat truck and I'm going to film it in the dark. Cheers for watching. Look at that view. I'll catch you all in the next video.